Welcome back to Primetime News. Special welcome to the folks watching on onespotmedia.com. Up first this evening, the war of words over crime fighting is back in the forefront. This as the People's National Party has hit back at comments made by National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang at the opposition's lack of support for the states of public emergency is behind an upsurge in crime. But opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips says the PNP will not take the blame. TVJ's Dashan Hendricks tells us more.
I will not be a party to that. The People's National Party will not accommodate the misuse of the constitutionally prescribed powers.
Opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips reiterating his party's position against the use of states of public emergency as a crime-fighting tool. It comes in the wake of the Security Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, on the weekend, imputing that a recent shooting in St. James was carried out by men who were released at the end of January when the state of emergency ended. The statement drew the ire of the PNP, which responded in a statement on Monday, telling the government it will not accept the blame for, quote, the surge in violence for defending the principle that fighting crime cannot be on the sole basis of the arbitrary detention of hundreds of citizens without due process, end quote. Dr. Phillips, echoing that statement, said he will not support a state of emergency unless a real emergency, as dictated by the Constitution, is facing the country.
That doesn't mean that we cannot find common ground. We passed the ZOSO legislation. I have said to the Prime Minister in the Parliament, we have said it privately, use it more.
Originally, the PNP marshaled arguments against the ZOSO bill when it was debated in 2017, but now the party wants to use the very legislation, arguing that it allows the government to do everything it can do under a state of emergency, except for arbitrary detention of citizens. But as the debate about crime fighting continues and how to cauterize the monster, a reflection from Dr. Phillips that things could have been very much different. He points to the Vale Royal talks earlier this year.
We had a good meeting, I would say, a frank exchange of views. We insisted that the discussions needed to be broadened. The government agreed. A date was set and announced coming out of that Vale Royal meeting. It hasn't taken place.
He said other meetings also failed to take place. Dr. Phillips said the discussions scheduled to involve the Attorney General Marlene Malahoo Fort and the Justice spokesman Donna Scott Motley to see which laws could be strengthened to deal with crime are yet to take place.
That would enable us to effectively combine against this measure of criminality that the country is experiencing. Nothing. So it leaves me to wonder, what was the purpose of the first meeting?
He said if the government is really determined to build a national consensus to fight crime, the PNP is ready and willing to talk.
The ball is in the government's court in that regard.
Dashan Hendricks, TVJ News.